This is Group 9's presentation video, and in this video we'll focus on properties and type editing. The first tool we will look at is type editing. So we have this model here, and we'll look at it this way. So we can see that each part of this building has a different type of material. So what we can do is we can click on that and open up our properties, and you'll see that it has all these different properties about it, essentially. But one cool thing that we can do is we can click on Edit Type, and we can change a lot about it. So we'll click again here, and the first thing you notice that I like to play around with is changing what material it's made out of. So if you click again this little three dots in this box here, we'll open up a big menu with tons of different materials that we can choose. So we can do silly things like earth or glass as a roof, which is unrealistic, or we can also do something a little bit better, such as aluminum. Might be a little expensive and prohibitive, but it's okay. So now we've changed the structure material to aluminum. And what we can also do is we can also change the thickness of it. So let's try and make it a little cheaper. Let's reduce the thickness a little bit to, let's say, 200. So we click OK down here. Click Apply, which applies it to your material. Click OK again. And we'll see that the material of the roof has changed. So again, this is really useful for if you're building a new model and you want to create your own material or modify one that's currently there. Because we could also go and click on this wall, and it's a concrete retaining wall. It's 300 mils thick. What we can immediately do, besides changing all this, the basic stuff, you can go into your type. You can do edit, edit material, and let's change it to not cast in place. Let's do it. Let's do some brick, some common brick. So click OK. Again, I think I like the thickness at 300. So click OK. Now apply. Look at that. We've changed the top of this house. So we got aluminum roof and brick walls. So here we have another model of a different building, and we can see that it's made out of some concrete here, a little bit of metal up here and on those walls, some wood back in there you can see, and then some concrete and glass. So what I like to do, especially when I was building this model, is I created all these kind of like new materials. That way they could be specified to this model and they'd make a little bit more sense and look better a little bit from the outside. So what I would typically do is I'd click on one, click properties, and I'd do what I showed you before. But then sometimes when I wanted a completely new material, something different, right? I'd click edit type and I'd duplicate it, right? But then I'd go ahead and I'd name it something new. So let's just call this test material. So now we have test material. So what we maintain the old characteristics of the old material, but now we can also go and insert all these new ones. So let's insert two more, and let's change the thickness of the concrete a little bit. So let's change that to 100 mils. So now we're going to go and we're going to create something, right? So we have 100 millimeters of concrete currently. So let's go and put, I think brick on the outside would look really good there. So let's click on brick. Okay. We're going to have to change the thickness right away, because if we try and implement this right now, there's going to be no brick and it's just going to be concrete. So let's change that. Let's change it to 200, and let's just make this a standard wall of 300 millimeters. So now we got 200 millimeters of brick and 100 mils of concrete. So let's click OK, apply, OK again. So now you can see up here, it kind of gives us a little preview of what it's going to look like from above, and also gives us all the basic stuff. So now let's go to ground. Let's try and, we're going to test out this wall. We're going to do a little strip here. So immediately we go into our properties, trying to build a wall, and we're going to open it up, and we see right there, there's our test material. So let's click on that, and make sure all this makes sense. We're going to click here, We're just going to build a basic wall just to kind of give a representation of it. So click escape. Now let's go into 3D and see, there it is. There's our brick on the outside. And if we rotate it, there's our concrete on the inside. So the second tool we're going to look at is the roof by extrusion tool. So what you're going to do to use this, you're going to go up to roofs here, roof by extrusion. So you're going to want to set, it's going to ask for a plane, which plane you want to work in. And actually I'm in the wrong plane currently. I need to be in a north or an elevation view. So we're going to go to our east elevation view here. So now we're looking at the building from a side, right? So you can see that this is the roof here currently. Not that one, this one here, and up here too. This one there. So you can see that that's currently the roof line. So I might say that it's a little boring. This one right up here is a little boring, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to delete that, right? So, and that was actually a roof by extrusion too, but we're gonna change it up here. So we're gonna go roof here, roof by extrusion, and you're gonna want to pick the plane to work in. You're gonna go, yep, this is the one. And it's gonna ask for what level reference for the offset. And you're gonna say level. I have it level 3 plus. You can just do 3 or whatever really. So then the first thing you're gonna notice is it's gonna put you into a kind of like drawing a line sort of situation here. So you can immediately start, you can do like some normal lines like this, right? Or you might want something a little bit more unique, right? So it's gonna go, we're gonna do like a crazy little curved line here. So something like that. And we're gonna flatten out, kind of something like that. I continue that line, you know? So press escape here, and then I'm gonna click this check mark, right? So now we can go to this 3D view. And we're gonna see they have a really funky looking roof now, right? So it's got a little curve and then it kind of goes straight on that sort of angle. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move it up a little bit just so it's a little easier to work with and it's a little easier to tell where we're working at it with. Right, so it's still got a little bit intersect there, but now it looks more reasonable. So the first thing that I notice is, hey, these walls aren't connecting to it, right? So the tool that you use to get that, because this is a unique shape, the walls aren't going to really attach to it normally, and it's kind of hard to draft the walls that attach to it. So what I usually do is I click on the walls, and I'll do attach top to base right up here, right? And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on the roof. So now we can see that it's attached right away. So we can go around, we can do on each of these walls, and give me a second for that. So now I'm going to click attach top to base, and you're going to see right away that it's going to attach all of them right up to the top like that. Perfect, right? Now we're going to do it on the columns here, just to make it look all nice and normal. I'm going to attach top to base, just like that. And so immediately you can see that now we have this unique roof. It's kind of cool looking, and we have all the walls attached to it, and it looks really good in my opinion, honestly. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go back in, I'm going to double click, and now that will open up the profile of which the roof was made upon, right? So now we can see that original shape. And actually, I'm going to go into the east elevation again, just so it's a little easier to see, but there's the shape that we were working with. So now I'm going to go to lines up here, and say I want to change it up a little bit. Say I want to extend this end piece a little bit. So we're going to go a little further out the back, have a little bit more of an overhang. I like the front, but say, yeah, I'm going to keep the front like that. So now just go back, click it, and it'll fix it up immediately right away for you. So then we're going to go to your north, and we're going to see, hey, it's overhanging on one side, but you look at the other side, it doesn't really overhang. So you see this little arrow here. First off, we have that overall dimension, which is kind of nice. So in conclusion, those are some of the tools and techniques that I personally use when I'm trying to make a model a little bit more interesting or a little bit more just unique, I guess. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.